Asteroid of fear.
Boom. And just like that, it's fucking December. December 1st. Since I'm not monetized on YouTube yet, throwing out the F bomb in the first how many ever seconds isn't going to matter. So, yeah, YouTube, go ahead. Do something. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Men of the House podcast, and it is December 1st. Wow. Where did the time go? 1 month left, and it'll be 2026 for all the viewers. Turn on the little candlelight back there, brighten it up in here as I'm looking like a single piece of gray camouflage blending into my laptop and shit for the viewers. We got a little cold snap here in Tejas, and yeah, 40 something degrees outside, but feels like 30 something, and we're not quite used to that, and it's cold. I've been in house shoes, long socks, sweatpants, kind of a hoodie. I have a thin hoodie on, which is kind of like this under thing I wear under some other things. But man, it's been fucking cold. And this office and room where I'm at, it's the hottest one in the summer, so we put a window unit in. But it's also the fucking coldest in the winter. So you see, I got my little fireplace over here in my office. We got one in the bedroom, and I'm gonna plug in heater in the bathroom, as that's probably the coldest damn room because it's big. Yeah. And where my wife's dog's sitting, they kind of got the same situation going on. It's like the heat stays on one side of the house and not necessarily where she's at. But, that's kind of the way it works sometimes. But what are we going to talk about this Monday? So, normally I would do interviews, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about some other stuff I've been exploring. Um, some things I'm starting to understand and realize, like about myself, maybe about the world. Man. Mm. But yeah, so lately I have noticed I I've been watching a lot of interviews on YouTube. Some people watch series, movies, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. I like that kind of stuff. My wife and I do sometimes, but I actually, when I want to sit down and watch something, I'm usually watching YouTube and I'm watching a podcast. And I've been trying to figure out what that is. Why? What about it is so attractive? Watching two people interact, watching an interview. And if you've listened to this show and you know me, or if you don't, and you've heard nothing, I went on a cruise a couple weeks ago and had a chance to kind of disconnect. And with that disconnection came more. That was a digital disconnection, but more face and in person interaction. You have to talk to people, hang out in the hot tub, whatever, meet strangers, um, which I quite enjoy. I mean, that's one of the things I enjoy about Ubering is getting out there, meeting people, um, whether it's drivers, the people you're picking up from. I would say I'm a pretty good conversationalist and pretty open, pretty easy to get to know, um, as long as you're cool, as long as you're not a fucking asshole. But I would say I'm approachable. I'll often initiate conversation. And I was talking to my therapist, and she had suggested, like, at some point in time, like, maybe you're lonely, and I'm like, I don't know that I'm lonely. Um, I'm as alone as I want to be. I'm an only child. I actually enjoy being alone, quite frankly, but I do enjoy human interaction, connection. I think we all do. I was an only child. Uh, Grew up wanting a sibling and ended up with a foreign exchange student one year, Carlos from Barcelona. Barcelona. Um, but yeah, we were all like a group of cousins, all single cousins. None of us had siblings, I don't think. And if we did, they weren't full siblings, they were half siblings. So I kind of, I went to the Kyle Smith show, met strangers there, had no issues. I mean, one of my metrics I track is deeply connecting with a stranger. And I can do that often, and I enjoy it. Um, which would beg the question, why aren't you interviewing? And, I've been back and forth like, yeah, I wish I was fucking Joe Rogan or whoever, Sean Ryan, and had a studio somewhere and I could fly people in. Or even like Scotty G. He's got his studio down there in Austin and has people make the trek. And yeah, that's where I would like to get to. Like I just finished watching the Sean Ryan Jocko interview last night. It's 5 hours, 5.5 hours. So I watched it over a couple of days, here and there. But for me, it's like learning. It's perspective. It's um, remembrance, heartfelt stories. Some of the same stuff that I have here on my podcast. But I need to get it to that next level. And that only helps. Well, it's only going to happen if you guys like, subscribe, and share. You got to share. If you like it, share it. Um, more people need to hear it. But yeah, my general disposition is like I've been avoiding Podmatch somewhat. And I don't know if it has to do with something like that connection thing. Like, I've been watching a lot of Chase Hughes, and, I say the same thing in that we're so connected but disconnected at the same time. We have the means to be connected more than ever, but we're disconnected. And he says, well, that's because people are almost mistaking like this social media connection. It's like a placebo, kind of, you know. And so we feel like it's actually, I guess, maybe like we're connected because we're on these devices and we're always talking to somebody, chatting to somebody. But it's not near the same that you get in person. It's, yeah, it doesn't. And I've been struggling with that lately. Um, I've been struggling with the device, not like I overuse it, can't get off of it, shit like that. I'm more in the category of like, I don't want to use it. I don't want this to be everything. This machine I'm tapping. If you're watching or only listening, I have my laptop in front of me. I mean, it's twofold. It's the double-edged sword. It's allowed us to break out of, I don't know. I'm a lot of Chase Hughes and Andrew Bustamante right now. If you listen to either one of those, I mean, if you feel like America was set up to produce in our school system and everything's set up to make little doers, make little manufacturers, make citizens that can show up at 8 and leave at 4 or 5, get their little 5 or 10 minute breaks between classes, their 30-minute lunch. Um, yeah, that's the model. But with these things, we've got remote work, we can work from anywhere, we can reach anyone. I mean, I've got listeners in, oh, how many places? Let's check it out here. Let's look at the stats. What? You are not connected to the internet. How did that happen? That must have been like, hopefully I don't fuck up the recording. All right, here we go. Locations. Let's look at locations. All episodes. So, we have 2,503 episodes from North America, only 33 downloads South America, not very popular there. 579 over in the Europe, 363 in Asia, 18 in Africa, 123 in Oceania. So 59 countries and territories and 574 cities. That's where the men of the house has been. So, thank you. Thank you all. But this little thing right here has allowed all that. However, it's gone from like a tool and instrument to facilitate things being better and faster and easier to these soul sucking life machines that people can't fucking live without. Everything. I mean, I've been doing a lot of Gen, um, you know, been talking about Gen X lately. I've been seeing a lot of articles on Gen Z, which we have two children in that one, and then we have a Gen A. And I was reading these things today, and it talked about how Gen A, the iPad generation, definitely 100%. Gen Z, that's 97 till whenever, they talked about them being kind of the before social media and after social media. But I think I'm probably on the end of Gen X, and, we're in that category too. Probably more so than Gen Z because we were born in the 70s. I mean, Gen Z, what starts in 1997? I fucking graduated in 93, okay? The only thing you did on a computer was typing, practicing, learning how to fucking type. I mean, I went to UIL on an IBM Selectric 2 typewriter in 1991. So, yeah. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, because I'm trying to figure out, I'm in this place like I love. You see Bill Murray there, Stripes, one of my favorite fucking movies. Woody Harrelson, love that dude. But I mean, yeah, those guys got assistants, or you hear the lore of they just maybe they have a phone that they can text their kids and stuff. If not, assistants will take care of it, or but you hear like they don't use email, they don't do this, they don't do that. I'm sure somebody's taking care of it, but yeah, that's how I would like to be. Like if I could have to not deal with it, I would be okay. 100%. And if you're listening and I've missed you on social media, my apologies sort of in that, I just haven't been spending as much time intentionally because I haven't had the desire. And in the state of the world that it's in, with all the division, and that they program the algorithms to intentionally irritate you, or mm, yeah, they're going to show you some shit you like, but then they're going to show you some shit you don't like. They're going to show you some stuff to incite emotion, because guess what emotion creates? Oh, outrage. I got to share this. I got to tell everybody about this. Yeah, anger. They can incite that. They can get you to share it. They can get some creators whose whole fucking shtick is just to talk about somebody else's video. You know, they get to share that. And then it keeps getting fucking reshared and replayed, because that's some people's whole thing. And that's what they enjoy. Um, Unfortunately, I do not. I would like to get some value out of what I'm watching. Now, if I want to be entertained, then I'll seek out something entertaining. However, most of the time I'm looking for something that's of benefit, be that spiritual, mental, self improvement, anything. Maybe something giving us the fucking truth. But yeah, Gen X, Gen Z. But yeah, there's I think somebody told me the other day maybe it's the nostalgia, um, of the way things once were. And you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I mean, there was a part of the fun was not knowing. I mean, man, just like when they had Hastings and Blockbuster, like going to rent a movie was a whole fucking thing. I mean, either you had dinner and then went and got the movie, or you're like, hey, we're going to get a movie, then pick up some food and watch the movie. Like, walk around the store. You got to see if it's there, see if it's like in the currently, like, did somebody just fucking return it? Like, you're waiting for it. Um, that was a whole thing. Not having a review on and everybody's opinion about a fucking movie. I don't know how many people are on Earth. My business coach says all the time, 8 billion maybe, and how many billions of those have internet and access. And so, yeah, that's that many potential opinions of Rotten Tomatoes of whether or not you should go see a movie. Back in the day, you just kind of chanced it. You Part of the fun was finding out and figuring it out. Now you can YouTube everything. Um, yeah, I, there's something I miss about that. The not knowing. If you called and I didn't answer, it's because I wasn't fucking home. Because there was one phone in the living room attached to the wall until cordless phones came out. Then you had voice messages with little tapes. And a lot of the fun there was recording the, hey, this is so and so. Please leave a message. Beep. Please be kind and rewind. But it felt less complicated. The government was lying to us, but we didn't know because we had no way to look into it. So it's patriotic, as apple pie and baseball, and it was just so different. John Rambo, Sylvester Stallone. He's probably 5'4". Looks like he's 6'2", jacked special forces dude, and Rambo. Um, yeah, I miss it. And there's a part of me that's like, it just keeps going and going, and we're in this turbulent time, sort of, sort of. If you're, it was interesting. I was watching or listening to a podcast, and I cannot remember who said it, but it was kind of the proof of like these fucking machines and the people that use them. Clickbait, manipulation. It's like if you were to turn on the news or look at your device, you think the whole fucking world's burning down around you. But in general, he said it, and I kind of concur to a degree. I mean, I was on a cruise, I'm an Uber driver. I meet a lot of people, and most people are generally all right. Want the same shit that you do, man. They just want their food hot. They want to be able to pay their fucking bills, want their families to be safe, you know? The same shit. Waiting for their tax return, just like you and me. I'm still waiting for last year's IRS. I'm sure you're listening. But yeah, I think we're all trying to get by. And you are probably more like the person that you talk to face, but then you turn on the news or you get on your device, and all of a sudden you're you start kind of getting categorized and put into groups. I mean, even Facebook, we have groups. I have a private accountability group. Um, and these things say, you know, a little bit about us and who we are or what's important to us. Mm. And it's crazy because it's meant to be inclusive in a way that there's a place for everybody. Like if you're into toy cars. Or, I was talking about model cars the other day. I haven't seen those in a while. Like, kids don't build model cars anymore. It was like probably because of the airplane glue, but Toluene. I had a professor, we used to call him Dr. Toluene, taught chemistry. However, so whether it's Pinterest, Instagram, you can join these groups, people, community. That's what we're all searching for. However, somewhere out there, it's like, um, just the same way people like to offer you unsolicited advice. It's the same way nobody can mind their own fucking business. It's like, okay, if we like toy cars or whatever, model cars, then let us be. But no, there's always like an asshole out there who's gonna jump in, chime in, and, disrespect it, whatever it is. I'm using model cars, but it can be anything. Anything that you kind of identify with, I guess you could say. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it almost seems like old Zuckerberg with Meta and stuff. It claim he's a genius and he invented this thing and for people to have a place, but hmm, could it be that the government just did it and said this little knucklehead's behind it, this little broccoli head, the 1,000 pound ass head, afro. Hey, we can create something and it'll get everybody to fucking self identify. And once everybody self identifies, we can put them into these little categories. And then we can puppeteer them and fucking poke and prod and nudge and manipulate all we want. All we got to do is create the thing, create the platform. Oh, and humans will do it because, yeah, they're dumb. We are. Hmm. Yeah. That's the. I'm not really a conspiracy guy, but it's probably the. It's the only one I've ever made up. But yeah, it's that whole kind of. There is a truth to it. We can get people to identify with it just by giving them something that puts them into groups. We fool them into think they're joining communities for connection. But what we're really doing is sorting people and classifying people. Because the more we know about them, the more we can control them and manipulate them. Oh, and the humans will do it because they're all about themselves. Hey, look at me. Look at what I'm doing. Look at what I got. Hmm, mine is better than yours. Yeah, you can see why. I am not in love with these things. I think I could have done with music only, Before there was computers, there was music and film. But I mean, now it's like it also allows for so many people and artists like Kyle Smith to be unsigned. Would I have ever heard of him if music had remained the way it had? If there was never a Napster in digital style and it had to be like that old school way of like you have to be on a record label or whatever. Somebody has to write about you in a magazine and that magazine has to be on the stand and where you have to hear them or see them open from another band, something like that, or a flyer. Yeah, some of that magic is gone as well. But there still is magic. Like when I saw Venison, shout out to them. They fucking blew me away. Sugar Waves out of Austin was pretty good too. I like them. Um, but yeah, I feel like I'm in this, this weird thing of like, hmm, just feel a little bit out of place. I go a lot of places. I see a lot of things. Everything feels a little out of sync, if you will. Like, I don't know that I could go back into corporate healthcare because, I mean, it just has a different feel than it did 5 years ago. I mean, everything's got a little bit of a different feel, you know? Once everybody learned they were fucking lied to by the government and mm, just the sense of distrust and as it continues to spiral out of control with your whole campaigns on releasing the fucking files and immigrating the bad people, getting those people out of here. Hmm. It's December 1st, and the files still haven't been released. Hmm. Yeah. And meanwhile, they've fucking probably deported everyone that should be here. Yeah. Hmm. That's the sound when the wind gets sucked out of your sails. It's the sound of disappointment. It's the sound of confusion. It's the sound of concern. I mean, the other day, I heard I heard somebody do 50 Cent as country or something like that, or as soul. I forgot what it was, but there people are using AI to do all kinds of wicked stuff with music, and turning 50 Cent into country songs and or rock and roll. And somebody was like, "Oh, they should do Ozzy's Sweet Leaf." And I was like, "Yeah," or I was thinking Nativity in Black because there was this black Black Sabbath tribute album back in the day. I think there's been a couple. And Ugly Kid Joe did a version of Nativity in Black that just fucking nostalgia takes me back to the 90s. Ugly Kid Joe. That's what was going on. They had that song, Neighbor. Yeah, won't you be my neighbor? But I started typing in the word ugly, and fucking Meta's like, you want to like consider your comment? And people with similar comments have been, punished or whatever, had their shit removed. It's like, give me a fucking break, you broccoli headed motherfucker. Zuck. Fuckerberg. I mean, it's okay to watch Charlie Kirk get shot, but I can't fucking type the word ugly. Okay. Yeah. Fucking checks out. That's the world we're living in. And it's bumming me the fuck out. So, one of the names that came up as I was watching the Sean Ryan show with Tucker Carlson, and they brought up Nick Fuentes. I had never heard of him. I asked my 22-year-old daughter if she's heard of him. She hasn't answered me yet. But I'm kind of curious. And so I had only heard what, you know, that interaction was like, or kind of, I didn't really research him because it's been Thanksgiving week and I got better shit to do than research Nick Fuentes. However, it did. Um, Today, I don't know what I was watching. My wife's dog sitting, and myself, I'll often fall asleep to a YouTube interview, and then things keep rolling and keep playing, um, and it's usually probably something related to military history, CIA, self improvement. But a lot of the long form ones I watch, like 2 and 3 hour interviews, they'll roll into like another similar, because it's got my algorithm down. Although my dad gets in there and watches The Voice, and sometimes that'll pop up in there. However, it never autoplays, thank God. If I had to wake up to the fucking Voice, I'd be mortified. I don't like that show, but my dad does, and there's a lot of good singers. It's just not my thing. The Voice, The Chair, America's Got Talent. Although I did see Cass Haley on there, which I dig him. I didn't know he was on there because I don't fucking watch that kind of bullshit. So, but yeah, it is a great way for, I guess, aspiring people to be debuted. Or, wonder whatever happened to that. Was it William Hung? She bangs, she bangs. Yeah. Or they set you up to be, you don't know you're the joke. But I'm sure he's doing fine. So, somewhere in my algorithm, mm, I know what it is. So I've seen Chase Hughes before, or I seek out to watch him. And one interview I came across was, I believe, Jack Neal. And so he's in my algorithm, and he had an interview with Nick Fuentes. So that popped up, and I thought, what the fuck? Let's give it a whirl. Let's see what he's all about. Why he resonates with the younger generation. And I asked our 22-year-old, I'm like, hey, I'd like to interview you. She hasn't answered me, but I want to know what is important to the younger generations. I'm almost 50, so, you know, another 25, 30 years, maybe 40 years if I'm lucky, maybe 50. Technology keeps going. I stay healthy. um, Although I age pretty well, I must say. There's not a lot of 49-year-olds out there that, maybe influencers, but yeah, I'm all right. So, Nick Fuentes. First of all, I was like, an astounding resemblance to Tucker Carlson, at least on that interview with the flannel shirt, kind of the same coif hair. Um, and please don't identify me with being affiliated, supportive of, or in any fucking category of a news channel or whatever because I watched Tucker Carlson or fucking Nick Fuentes for that matter. I watch it all. I'm into finding the fucking truth, and the truth is somewhere in the middle because everything is designed to sell. But yeah, he looked a little bit like Tucker Carlson, which I thought was interesting. Now I need to go back and actually watch that interview. I wonder if he wore. They both had flannel shirts on. Huh. But it's supposedly, I don't know people in that age group, the young people identify with him. So yeah, I wanted to see what he was about. Huh. Um, I don't remember where it was, but if you watch that interview, I forgot what he said about voting. Like maybe he would take away the right to vote for women to vote away. It's, like women wouldn't be able to vote. He would raise the voting age to 25. Um, Maybe the only thing I agreed with was you got to be able to speak English. If you're gonna fucking vote here, you got to speak English, right? I mean, my mom speaks fluent Spanish. She's been a fucking interpreter my whole life, but she can't move to a Spanish speaking country and vote. I doubt. So, yeah, needs to be more than probably just the language. Um, but English speaking is a start. You know, I think that's a good point. But man, yeah, he had kind of like this viewpoint of you have to be in a position where it makes sense to vote. Like you have to have some skin in the game somewhere. He did have some interesting correlations or interesting viewpoints about what was it? Trump getting shot in the air a couple days later, nominating J.D. Vance, who is what friends with the Palantir guy, and um, and he's like a newly minted senator, only 2 years, and now he's the vice president. Of course, Palantir's shit is taken off, and some little other underling who's gonna build something. Of course, now they're gonna be doing it in Ohio, where JD Vance is from, and yeah, it's all related. Everybody's scratching each other's back, kind of a thing, or sucking each other off, however you want to call it. Now, I'm not saying I like or dislike JD Vance, but hmm, mm, I'll just say he brought up some interesting points. You know, that's all. But all of it, yeah. I mean, how how is the just average normal human being get anywhere, make any headway in a place that seems like it's almost rigged, you know? It's the same way that cities approve and or deny what businesses can and cannot operate and the codes and this, that, and the other. And typically there's a bunch of, what is it, quid pro quo. And, once one person gets like a stake, it's like, hey, if I own all the Chick-fil-A's in Tyler, it's like nobody else can open a Chick-fil-A within X amount, not in Tyler anyway, but I can open some more of them. So it's kind of like, the money stays with the money. They keep it circulating amongst themselves. Um, yeah, it feels a little dirty to be American. I mean, I feel like I've always known this. So in a way, it's weird because I think as a Gen Xer, like you had kind of like maybe this blind patriotism type of thing. Even though you knew, if you were as into the military stuff as I was, you knew that the government did shady shit. Um, but you always thought it was always for the benefit of the American people. And of course, starting with COVID, and you keep fast forwarding and you just see the way shit plays out. And you, mm, yeah, just feels dirtier than that, I guess you could say. Because we do it to our own people, you know? Yeah. Ah. Hmm. It's like modern events just confirm what I've always known or thought, but it's almost like once it's confirmed and you know, like you feel a little icky. It, I don't know. My wife and I were talking about something the other day, and oh, about a medication, and she's like, "Oh, it's all over the news or something or this or that the other," and I was like, "I haven't seen it." I'm like, what comes across my radar is like, do you not notice that um, there's like some cities have the fucking National Guard in them? Like, does that seem normal? Like, I mean, we don't have it here, but what is going on in the world that we have, you know, if you have disasters, I guess like in Guam, I guess in the 80s or 90s when they had to hand out MREs and shit, and or like hurricanes, Katrina, all that. But we're just deploying National Guard to major cities for what? Is it the police can't handle it? Did they defund the police? Is that the deal? So I don't live in a major city like that. I try to kind of stay out of that stuff, but it's disturbing. I mean, from one human to another, as a person who loves people, um, who has a genuine love and care and concern, I mean, so I've dedicated my life to service. To see people act that way, especially when you feel like it's untrue. You feel like it's being orchestrated, if you will. That's the sad part. And I feel like people are just buying into it instead of being like, uh, we've had enough and that's not the way it is. And the collective is stronger than these people in power holding all the money. It's like the BlackRock thing, just buying up fucking land, like, so people can't own it. Like, what the fuck? I mean, that used to, I mean, maybe, yeah, there should be laws, I guess. Like, if you're I'm sure it would require something super fucking extenuating for me to purchase a home in Italy or Japan or Spain or something. So, I mean, hey, if you had the money to purchase a home here and you're from a friendly country with good intentions, I guess, then yeah, which I'm sure we had a lot of that. All I'm saying is there's some things that seem like common sense that we've kind of fucking blown way out of proportion in this effort to be fair and inclusive, I guess. Um, it's like, where does it stop? There has to be boundaries and or laws. Then, after that interview, um, a come across my screen pops up It said Elon Musk, and I can't remember what the title was of the video, but I started watching it. I watched little bits and pieces. It's 100% subtitles. He's kind of hard to understand. Elon too, and the other guy, Punjab. Um, they were. I don't know what they were talking about. I, you know, I don't know. I'm like, is it really Elon, first of all? Or is it like AI? I haven't really seen Elon on too many podcasts. I've seen him on Joe Rogan the one or two times or something, maybe. But um, this guy, the host, he goes on to say, well, most of the people, the audience, is, they said, either entrepreneurs or what do you say, entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs, mostly in India. I'm like, and it was funny because Elon's face kind of, like, there's this long pause, and so the guy is like, so I want like kind of your answers, and I'll try to keep my questions centered around that target audience. And he has this look on his face like, uh, okay. And um, the next words out of his mouth was, he goes, make useful products and services. Oh, no shit. Holy fuck, Elon. That's why you're the man. Make useful products and services. Maybe like some shit that rescues the stranded astronauts. Yeah, I don't know. They say he's from South Africa, but I'm not certain that he's really even human. He could be alien. I don't know. I heard he's got like 9 kids, or is it 14? I mean, he might be an honorary Mexican. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. But we're going to end it on a different note. My favorite, my favorite moment of the week. And that was, I took my daughter to go meet a friend, and she went and saw Wicked 2 with a friend because the friend didn't have anyone to go see it with, even though my daughter had already seen it. And the other girl's mom went and stuff. And when I picked her up, she went, get ice cream or whatever. But she's like, Daddy, can we play some of my music? Can I play for you some of the music that I listen to? Because her and I kind of been bonding over music lately, and she's been wanting to pick up the guitar and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I was like, okay. So my phone was plugged in, connected as always, and she took it and started playing Tyler the Creator, Flower Boy. I think that's the album. And I'm listening to it, and I've heard of Tyler the Creator. I'm sure I've heard his stuff. Um, I know I've seen him on Ridiculousness, 100%. And then we're talking. I'm like, what do you like about it? Do you like, is it the beat, the words? One, because I want to be able to explain to her, or uh, let her differentiate like the sounds. Hey, what's drums, or what's a drum machine possibly? Or, what could you do with a keyboard? Because as she's interested in the guitar, um, we were playing like with the electronic drum kits at Guitar Center, stuff like that. I want her to be exposed to everything because, I mean, she's played a few things at school. I think they played ukulele, recorder, jambas, or hand drums, something like that. And Um, yeah. So I want her to be able to differentiate, pick out the music, whatever, whatever. And she's like, yeah, I like the beats and stuff, but it's usually the words that get me through. And I was like, yeah, well, I go, well, that's why Kyle Smith was important to me. So all, if you want, you see everybody, I got the Kyle Smith myth deck and the poster and stuff, and I'm probably going to change all this up here in a bit, is what I'm thinking. But it's kind of like entering a new period. But I was able to tell her, like his words, and because she's 12 now. When she asked me to quit drinking, she was 9. And when I quit drinking, and mm, Kyle Smith was on the menu daily. His words, his music, that's what got me through. Kept me off the sauce. So, yeah, it's a big fucking deal. And I wanted her to know that. And that's why I had him sign 2 guitars to her. She didn't like it when I drank. She asked me to stop, and I did. And he got me through it. And now she's got a couple of guitars signed to her, and she got the drumstick. She snagged that, and we're going to put matching Kyle Smith stickers giving the finger on our guitars. So we're matching daddy and daughter. And so, yeah, it'll always be a part of that, that part of my life, that part of her life. Um, but yeah, that's why I love his music, have a lot of respect for him, and try to go out and see him and support him however I can. And now it's bonding us. And she bought a Sublime shirt not too long ago. She picked one out and was like, can I get this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And when we were done listening to Tyler the Creator, I was telling her um because this song we listened to, she goes, "It's really like 2 songs because it's like 8 minutes or something." And I said, "Oh, Sublime has this song. It's kind of like that. It's after Don't Push 544 6, I think, or 5447 47. I forget the name of it, but da 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 da. Ahem, that song. People listen up, don't stand too near. Something that you all should hear. Yeah. So we listened to Sublime, and then I sent her the new Kyle Smith Sugar Shack sessions, and then because she was listening to Tyler the Creator, I decided to put on some Chali Tuna from Jurassic 5, who I know Kyle Smith likes, and Um, and I told her about Jam in the Van because he has coming through with that. And then I showed her on YouTube Andy Frasco and Charlie Tuna, the whole band playing, because I let her hear like the standard version, which would probably be more like drum machines and stuff like that, beats. And then I showed her like the live version of a band playing it with guitar, sax, and all of it. Um, because I want to show her like just like Kyle Smith does a Dr. Dre song from The Chronic, and oh, dude, it's just that kind of stuff. It just wasn't a thing in the '90s, and yeah, technology's allowed it. This fucking thing I hate has allowed so much good to come through. We just have to fucking roll with it and evolve with it. And I don't want to. Ugh. It's like I kind of don't. It's like I don't want to let the good times go, but we can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. But yeah, the greatest thing, man, that was like, now, because I told my daughter, I was like, we didn't have phones. I go, so music was all I had. I go, so music was pretty much my life. She goes, it's mine. I'm like, okay. I can remember it was a big deal when I was stationed in Japan and we went to Hong Kong and I bought like a Green Day Kerplunk and like a Pearl Jam 2 or 3 CD set, um, imports. Like that used to be a whole fucking thing. If any of you Gen Xers, music listeners, remember that was a big fucking deal back in the day. Getting the imported record. If you get it imported, have a different version of a song. Um, oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. Yeah. And so, yeah, that was the highlight. Me and her bonding over music, taking her deeper, explaining, you know, the new Sugar Shack album. This is acoustic, like showing her the many forms that music takes and what it sounds like differently. I really wanted to take her to that show, to the Kyle Smith show, the VIP experience. But it was 18 up only, so I took my dad. But I was glad I did because that was a great moment for he and I to spend together as well. So I am grateful for that. But I want to take her to that kind of show, that kind of experience. I don't want, my wife, there's some mainstream group my daughter likes that was playing near here. And somebody was trying to scam on Facebook tickets because they were selling them for 150, and my wife's like, well, call me. And they weren't serious, and because they would have called her if they were, she thinks it was like a kid, but it was like in a parent's sixth grade or middle school group. um Somebody in there fucking scamming fuckers. Mm. And so, you know we were looking at it, and it's one of these artists, I mean, anywhere from 350 to $500. I mean, give me a fucking break. Like, I mean, it's a Taylor Swift esque like stuff. I mean, have I been to big rock shows like that? I mean, yeah, my first show was um, Metallica opening for Guns N' Roses, 1993, Texas Stadium, Use Your Illusion tour. Now I've seen Smashing Pumpkins in a big ass arena, like maybe the Melancholy and Infinite Sadness tour. Um, but I mean, we were still talking like the most I ever paid was like 85 bucks maybe. Uh, for yeah, like or yeah, it was probably 13 years ago when my wife was pregnant. We saw G Love, Cypress Hill, and 311 at Austin City Limits, which is kind of, the indoor multi tiered kind of seating, which is, you know, but I mean, probably 60, 80 bucks. I don't know. We saw Bruno Mars, maybe 80 bucks. I don't know where the fuck these ticket prices come from, but it's ridiculous. I'd rather spend, 200 and something and get the VIP Kyle Smith fucking experience and show before I bought one ticket to be like in a fucking sea of people, like where you can't even see the person. You're just fucking watching the Jumbotron, maybe? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But it's maybe it's age. It's something. But you can see why. Things feel a little odd, if you will. But if you can relate, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. If you're a young person, leave a comment. I want to know what's important to you. What's scary for you as you approach the future? Is it the job situation? Is it the government? Is it the unaffordability of housing? What is it? Talk to me. I want to know. But, while we're out there, like I said, and whoever else said, they travel a lot. People, we all want the same stuff, man. We just want fairness, right? We want to be okay. We want our loved ones to be okay. And we don't want to fucking struggle to decide between paying the light bill or whether your kids or yourself gets to eat or whether or not you can get to fucking work because your car works or your car doesn't. If you need a mobile mechanic to come to you, call me. I know someone. Easy. Ezekiel. I'll give you his number. Easy's Auto Care if you're here in Tyler. Look on my Facebook page. DM me. He'll come to you. Fair, real person. These big companies, they don't need any more of your money. These people out here who got laid off from one of these big fucking corporations, who is now a mobile mechanic and falling back on his skills because he didn't make it through the second round of fucking layoffs. Those are the people who need money. Those are the people I want to support. Okay? Just like myself. I do what I can. I take people to appointments. I take them shopping. Whatever I can to hustle. Help my wife. But I'm not participating in the system that's rigged for you to fucking go round and round on a merry-go-round and get fucking nowhere in life. And the only people benefiting are the people who are already fucking benefiting and need no more fucking benefit, okay? That's the truth. So, when you're out there spending your money, especially this month of December, if you got to stop for lunch, stop at a taco truck, stop at a family owned business. You know, somebody, I know exactly what you can get. You can go to a moderately good podcast store.com. Just be with Scotty G. You get everybody in your fucking life a be authentic, they'll adjust shirt. Just be. Spread the fucking message. We need a little more grace, a little more authenticity, okay? A little more humbleness, a little more just be. Shout out. You want to buy something? You buy that. That shirt, it's my favorite shirt. It's the truest statement. And he's a good dude. We need more Scotty G's in the world. And you can help spread his message and support him. Yeah. So, if you like me, you'll like him. I've been on there a couple times, and he's been on my show a couple times. So, just be with Scotty G. But, like I said, I'm out there. We all want the same, which is just be a good fucking person, right? I mean, everybody I'm running into is pretty friendly. Only one dude honked at me and told me I was driving too slow. And I told him thank you. It's the power of the edible. Lucky for him. But I've tried to get rid of that anger too, you know. I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. And this is my part. I can talk. I can try to bridge the information. Can try to make sense of it. I can just try to be here and empathize with you if you feel the same way. But yeah, while you're out there, remember to go out and be the person that you want to meet. Until Friday, peace.
Let's go.